Tony, could you please call roll?
Jimenez. Perales.
Here.
Diep.
Present.
Crosco. Davis.
Here.
Esparza.
Here.
Foley.
Here.
Kemmis.
Here.
Jones.
Present.
Ricardo.
Present. Thank you, Tony. This is our last meeting of this year. I know for many, good riddance to 2020. But sadly, it's going to be the last meeting for two of our colleagues. I was hoping we could take a couple minutes to honor our two departing colleagues. And I know that, I'm not sure if Henry's online right now, if he's able to demonstrate a small token of our appreciation. But we'll try to find a way to do this live when the law permits. First, I just wanted to say an enormous thank you. Lund, yep, you have been an incredibly enthusiastic, fun colleague to work with. You have always been, I'll say, courageously irreverent. I think you wrote the most noteworthy council memo in my experience that was laden with, I think, 37 different references to puns on marijuana. That was, I think, an all-time Sanzay record. And obviously, we're going to miss Captain America, and I'm going to miss your very thoughtful, scholarly approach to a lot of issues that, I think, frankly, I think a lot of us wish we took more often if we had the time, and we're often in such a rush. We don't always think the biggest thoughts, and because we're racing from one decision to another, and I really appreciate your approach. I know that many, many hours were spent at City Hall by you. I would not uncommonly be leaving, 10, 11 at night, and you'd still be in your office, and I respected how committed you were to public service. And so we wanted to offer a very small token, which are some books to the library in your name. And I know that I'm sure individually several of us will be reaching out to do something more personal, but I just wanted to honor your service to our city, 4 years, and wish you well. So I'd like to, if I could, Councilmember, if you want to say a few words, or we could go to your colleagues if any would like to pile on. Vice Mayor, welcome.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to just say, Councilmember Depp, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve with you. We've had several, great moments, walking, talking, and you sharing with me your philosophy and your vision about how you want and see government working, and how government should be able to connect with the people, and the people should be able to connect with their government, and to make government fun. And I think that you went a long way to make government fun. You made government fun for me, and I really enjoyed working with you. I enjoyed your intellect. I really appreciated how you approached the big issues and the process that you go through. And so I'm going to miss you. And again, it was an honor and a privilege to serve with you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Councilmember Davis.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, I think I already kind of started to do this earlier in the Charter Review Commission item, but we were new council members together, and I have really enjoyed getting to know you and working with you, Lun, and I have already missed our walks in the last year and plus, because we didn't normally walk in the winter time. And I will very much miss your thinking, and I'm guessing that you're going to continue to be interested in local politics. And now that we won't have Brown Act issues, I'll be able to benefit from your sounding board more often. And I hope that you are okay with that, because I am not going to lose your number.
Thank you. Councilmember Foley?
Lon, we only served together a couple of years, but I truly appreciate that time. In that time, I learned phrases like "I yield" and "uptown," and I will always think of your district as uptown from downtown San Jose. I also appreciate how sometimes you analyzed issues so much so that it was way over my head, and I tried to keep up with the language that you were using because of the legalese that you would use to craft your argument and your discussion. But I truly appreciate your thoroughness. I appreciate your professionalism, and I appreciate the commitment and dedication you put into the job. I wish you well wherever you end up.
Thank you. Councilmember Camus?
Well, I guess I'm going to be leaving with you here, Lund. And besides your intellect, we had lots of great discussions when we were serving together on the 18th floor. I always used to come by your office and have lots of great discussions. Little known fact, he's my movie buddy. We go to the movies anytime a new Marvel or DC comic movie comes out. So looking forward to going back to the movie theater someday with you, and we should have, I definitely going to have lots of time. So I'll look forward to seeing you around.
Whenever Black Widow decides to come out.
Councilmember Carrasco?
Thank you. Well, it's no secret that in terms of some of the spirited conversations that we had up on the dais, we didn't always agree on everything, but that doesn't mean that I don't wish you well, Councilmember Dieppe. I do, and maybe now that we're not voting on things, we can actually enjoy some of those great walks and be able to have other conversations, because we did actually have great conversations before we shared the dais, and I look forward to actually those wonderful conversations, and maybe take a hike or two together, because I know that we were at one point up near Zion, and so we actually have quite a bit of things in common, and I look forward to really exploring those wonderful parts of humanity together. But really, I do wish you well. And I know that you will still be part of the great landscape of the city of San Jose. There's so many things that we can still all do together to make sure that the residents of San Jose prosper, especially post-COVID. I hope post-COVID comes real soon, and we do everything we can to make sure everybody thrives in the city. Thank you so much for your service and for your continued interest in making sure that everybody does well.
Thank you. Councilmember Perales?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. And I wanted to share a couple, I think, just positive memories that I will take with me, and I hope Councilmember Dieppe does as well. As was pointed out, he had an intent, and I think successfully tried to bring some fun to the council. And many of you may remember it started off on a sour note for me with a video of Rocky. And what I appreciate is how Councilmember Dieppe and I were able to connect after that and build a relationship that I think the highlight was in Okayama, Japan, being able to do some karaoke, which certainly was a real positive memory, and just getting to know Councilmember Dieppe as a person. I think I mentioned it a little earlier in regards to this year, a major disadvantage is that we as a council have not been able to interact in person outside of these Zoom meetings where we debate issues back and forth. And what we all just finished right now with our dinner break was one of those opportunities where, as council members, we would all have a chance to at least just interact, not necessarily wearing our council hats. And I think that's been a big disadvantage to us as a full council in a dynamic. And so I certainly will take those memories and wish you well, Councilmember Dieppe, in your next endeavors.
Thank you. Councilmember Esparza?
Thank you.
wanted to say that Councilmember Diop, I wish you well. You and Councilmember Davis were the first to welcome me here. I don't know if you remember that, but you and Councilmember Davis were the first to welcome me as a newbie here and welcomed me into your offices and gave me the tour. And I really appreciated that. And we often, both you and I work weird hours. And so it was always comforting to come in at a weird time and know that you were here too. It's like, okay, all right, we're in good company. And so I'm going to miss that. And I look forward to seeing you in the community and seeing your continued leadership in the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Jimenez.
Hey, Lon, I wish you the best and all your future aspirations. I have no doubt that there's going to be many, many other doors that open up for you. Smart guy, fun. There are many memories that I'm going to take with me and I'm sure this isn't going to be the last time we interact, but one of those is you being in pajamas during one of the council meetings.
I forgot about that.
And a much more random interaction, hanging out with Councilmember Yip in a cigar bar in San Francisco playing pool after ABAG. So that was fun, eating fried pickles and the like. So very much appreciated hanging out with you. I suspect, again, that you're going to have an interesting sort of path forward. Looking forward to see where you sort of poke your head in and play a role in moving things forward in other areas. And look forward to seeing you perform and do everything that you've done here on council as it relates to bringing topics to the forefront on the Charter Review Commission. I'm sure you're going to do well at that. And as you well know, we're going to be watching closely. But anyway, very much appreciate the energy and the spark that you've lit for this council on many occasions. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Councilor Diop, I'm told that due to technical difficulties, there won't be a presentation of the books, that we will do that, I think, when that issue becomes resolved. I guess Vanna wasn't available for that this evening. So in any event, Councilor Diop, would you like to say anything in your defense?
Yeah, so thank you. I wasn't expecting that, so excuse me if my voice cracks. But it's been a real honor to serve with each of you, to serve it all. And in this moment, my heart is filled with gratitude for the opportunity to not just serve with each of you in the things that we've accomplished in the 4 years here that I've been here together, but also that I got to serve it all. My parents are refugees. No one ever grew up telling me that you should become an elected official. So I had to kind of imagine my future for me, like so many people, in our city, in our community. And I'm grateful for the time. I'm grateful to have learned from each of you, from city staff, from the expertise of department heads, and I will take that with me. There is no outlet for that. I've said before, the management experience, the public speaking skills, so on and so forth, that is transferable to other things. But the PhD that I have in San Jose, there's no outlet for that. So I'll need that outlet, and I'll be happy to whisper in any of your ears if you're thinking about something and you just want some feedback, or just go for walks. Johnny Carson used to write jokes for David Letterman after, so if anyone needs some memo writing, shadow writing, I'm happy to do that. Any topic you want. It's just for the thrill of writing, not to push it. But it's not, it's not lost upon me that I'm the last council meeting. I'm the last Asian council member on this council, and I'm departing. And I'm glad for my time here to the extent that it helped anybody else looking at me and envisioning if somebody as goofy as I could make it onto council, then they could too. So I hope to see future iterations of a council, and with another Vietnamese person, Chinese person, Indian person, true diversity on this council, like we've talked about in many of the past sessions. I'm also grateful, for my narrative arc, short as it was. went viral with my first official meeting. It's kind of downhill ever since then. So I left the mark too high. I'm even grateful for leaving soon. Not on my own terms, but the voters, making another decision. But I'm even grateful for that, because I think that's, in that way, it's a balm for democracy. In a year when our democracy at the national level has been attacked and challenged and thrown into question, for people in San Jose to see the churn, for them to be reassured that their vote matters and every vote counts. I went back and I talked to the city clerk. I think, in recent history, the last incumbent, it was in the 80s that there was a one-term council member. And then in recent history, it was Council Member Carrasco did it. I did it. Councilmember Esparza did it. And now Councilmember-elect Cohn has done it. So the churn, although not great for me, is good for our democracy. And I think it's important for our residents to see that, to know that. I'm also okay with it because I've come to accept that you can't love chocolate anymore. You just you get to enjoy it longer. So I've loved doing this job every day, and I would have wished to stay on for more leadership decisions and learning more. But at the end of the day, it is a bit of a gerbil wheel, and we go through the same thing, every year. It's the same memos coming up with different numbers, and I have new staff come on and they explain things to me, but I'm really explaining to them when I haven't even read the memo, because I know from 2 years ago, 3 years ago what we're talking about, and I'm kind of walking them through it. So the more experience you get, you see what's coming, and you can be more refined in process. But I know what this is. I know the weight that sat on my shoulders, and I take that with me. And I appreciate you and everyone else going forward who takes on that burden. I did want to say goodbye, and I made a quick little walk down memory lane, if you'll indulge me for a second.
This isn't Rocky, is it?
No. Where is this? So, Councilmember Campbell, you're leaving with me. Thank you for always being my buddy, coming up the hall and just chatting and floating ideas. We hung out personally, and I appreciated that. And I could always let my hair down with you.
Are those your typical walks in high heels?
This was a walk in shoes for the WYMCA. And what YWCA?
Yes, YWCA.
Anyways, so thank you for that, Johnny. I know you have free time like I do now, so or very soon. Feel free to ring me, and we can Zoom or FaceTime, or well, you don't have an iPhone, but we can get together and reminisce. So thank you very much for your big brother-ishness. Councilmember Foley, I very much appreciate your temperament. Thank you for our short time together, and you're always a joy to talk to, always eager to learn and open-minded. I just really appreciate your temperament, and thank you for your friendship. Councilmember Arenas, I hope you're watching. I hope you're feeling better. But we might have always agreed, but we shared a sense of humor, and some of the moments personally with colleagues on the council, some of my favorites were with you. So in our off-guarded moments, I'll remember those moments, Sylvia. So thank you for that. Councilmember Esparza, I leave to you the 18th floor, the night owls and the weekenders coming in and out. So you represent a district that I don't, but that matters to me. So I hope to see you succeed in continuing to make that a better part of our city. Councilmember Davis, you mentioned our walks, whether they're outside or in the hills or up and down the 18th floors for exercise, just because inside and outside. I do appreciate those moments and the moments of candor and me bouncing my ideas off you, but you also bouncing your ideas off me, not just about the city, but whether it's dating for me or parenthood for you. That will be missed. And again, you have my number, so feel free to reach out. Magdalena, what can I say?
What happens to Vegas stays in Vegas. Stop.
Exactly.
I'm sure there's a story there.
So there is a story there. But I'll leave it there since she cut me off at the pass. But it will, again, I agree. We had some great moments and great conversations. So feel free, and I believe you owe me a burger at Villa Sport. So when that opens up again, happy to do that. Raul, thank you. You were the closest in age with me. A few years older than me. It was fun for me to see, you become a father, become a husband, not in that order, sorry, but to see, what life could have been like for me if I had made some different decisions about my own personal life. So living vicariously for you and seeing you with Jorge, and I saw you walk a fine line. Trying to balance some things, and I admired, although maybe not in the moment, but in terms of one player of the game to another, I admired your way to navigate the things you wanted to do through City Hall, through this dais, by just dragging it out and not letting us move on to different issues. But it was an effective thing, and good luck to you, and I hope you have lots of good health as you approach 2021, 2022. Sergio, you and I shared.
What the hell is that?
What are you doing?
A goofiness.
That needs a
My
soundtrack.
memory of you will be. I
Reminds
think
me of Ghost.
first time. Yes, Ghost. That's a clay pot that or clay dish that I'm making.
Not sure how I feel about that.
Good Lord.
I think that. My first memory of you, or my memory of you will be you sitting next to me and shining your watch reflection in my face unknowingly on the council dais. But I think you share a goofiness like I do, although you hide it more than I do. One time we were taking a tour of the airport our first year through private security areas that aren't there for the public, and there's like this door that only like one person can walk through at a time because it shuts right away for security measures. And we were getting in line to go through it. And as I was going through it, you yelled at me. You said, roll through it, drop and roll. And I actually did it. And I think I surprised you by I rolled out into the middle of the airport, Indiana Jones style, through a trap door into ongoing luggage. And anyways, that was fun. And Vice Mayor Jones, it's been a pleasure. I think you in many ways are the not political center, but the family center of the council. You care about each and every one of us as individuals, regardless of the politics and whatever happens at any given Tuesday night. I really appreciate, you reaching out to me and others, I'm sure, for lunch or dinner or just a phone call to say hello. And, the discussions we had, and I still don't know who's more idealistic, you or me, although you'll say it's me. But that we'll keep having those discussions to hash that out. And Mayor Liccardo, it surprised me as I was putting this together, how long we've known each other. Time flies really, really quickly. I thought this was yesterday as I put this together. But this is me doing some translation for you when you were running for mayor at a Vietnamese house party. And then later on at my own swearing in when I became a council member. So I don't know if that's a lawyer thing or what, but I truly feel a kinship, and I appreciate where you're coming from a lot of the times, although I know maybe not everyone else does. So I just want to say that I get you, and I appreciate it when I'm trying to put something together, and not everybody understands me, but you understand where I'm coming from. So I appreciate that very much. I'm happy to continue serving and call me whenever there's anything I can help with. Dave, I would be remiss if I didn't just say thank you for teaching me and navigate. You were my buddy when I came to City Hall, and I've enjoyed our monthly meetings. I hope, I know I didn't, so I don't hope. I never demanded that much of you. I was really using the opportunity to pick your brain and learn about process. I never, demanded anything of you, I don't believe. So thank you for that time together. You run an amazing organization, all types of staff across the departments, Jackie, Rosalind, Matt, I'm not going to name all of them, but, Chris Burton, Kim Walsh, Nancy Klein, and others I've learned from, and feel that I've befriended, through our work at City Council and through travels and through moments at other events socializing, and I will miss your expertise. I will continue to call on you because, yeah, well, I will. And just, I know that the job that we have is not easy. And we all have the best intent of the city at heart. And I think the difference on the sliding spectrum is simply, do we help individuals, our community, in the immediacy? Do we alleviate pain and suffering? Or do we try to right the ship and right a process so that less people fall into the place where they are suffering? And I really believe that's the two kind of issues that we're coming at this from. And there's no right answer, because we clearly need to do both. But in what combination? Are we strengthening up San Jose's finances, attracting business to there's jobs and a tax base to do the things we want to do? Or are we focusing on the immediacy? And there's no right or wrong there. It's really an order of preference. And it's up to the council now. So I will wish you all well as you take on the struggles. I will be here to support you and in any way I can. Finally, one thing I've always kind of wanted to do is be played off. So if you could just indulge me for a second as I do this and let myself be played off as I look at my friends one last time.
He's off. Is he not going to be here for the rest of the meeting?
I want to thank my staff, the community. This has really been about the community and everyone from the beginning, from TL to T, Stephen, Chris, Charisse, all the way to the iteration of now, Bianca, Paul, Swan, Mindy, HG, Lauren. You've all made this an experience, and thank you so much. And you haven't heard the last of me.
Thank you, Councilor. Yep. We are going to miss your
Anyways,
tremendous sense of humor and your profound perspective.
thank you. Oh, sorry. Am I still sharing?
I think, I guess you are somehow. Yeah.
Am I?
As you work that out.
Wait, you seeing my screen? I think I'm done.
No,
Right?
he's not sharing.
He's not sharing. Okay. Now he's out.
Oh,
Okay, great.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Catherine.
Raul looks awfully a lot like you right now.
Wait, did you see that last thing? I didn't play out, did I? Wait, stop share. There we go.
Apparently.
There we go.
The lump will return. There it goes.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Councilman. Yep. Next, of course, Johnny Camus, thank you very much for your 8 years of service. And I think you strike me by your incredible passion for the job in the best way. I really do think that, you were so in tune with your community. So often I'd hear from you, and then I'd hear 3 or 4 times from your constituents on the same issue. And I knew, okay, I think Johnny already heard him out, and he really epitomized, what it means to be a true delegate for your community. I appreciate in particular your courage. I think quite often, look, you were surrounded by a bunch of us Democrats, and quite often you had to say things that you knew wouldn't be popular, but it's what you believed, and you knew a lot of other people believed it too. And in a very blue city like ours, and surrounded by a bunch of Democrats, not always easy to say them, whether it was maybe a desire to see lower taxes when some of us were pushing for higher taxes, or any other issue. I just appreciated that you always brought your honesty with you, and it was always sincere and real. And I also appreciate that it wasn't about party. In fact, you stepped away from your own party because you recognized that our president wasn't serving our country's values in any way. And you knew that very well because you yourself have lived the immigrant experience, and as I recall, that's why you stepped away from the party when you did, because of your principles. And so I really appreciate that courage very much. And I also appreciate your love for your family. Love to hear stories about whatever Constantine and Alex were up to, and Juliana, and just the wonderful balance that you brought to the job. It's not an easy job to be balanced at, and undoubtedly families have to sacrifice for this. And but you always seem to be thinking about them constantly, and I really appreciated your just your love for fatherhood. That's something I admire very much. So anyway, Councilor Camus, again, we won't have the presentation, but we will get that to you as soon as the gods allow. So why don't I ask my colleagues to weigh in? Councilmember Foley.
Thank you, Mayor. Johnny, I truly appreciate first that you were the first council member to endorse me in my run for city council, and that you were able to bring in a few other city council members to endorse me and support me. I appreciate that you walked precincts for me and did everything you could to help me get to where I am today. So first, I am very thankful and grateful for that. I'm very appreciative and aware of how you represent your community and how you represent your community well. You are a role model in your level of energy. You are everywhere in your community. Everybody knows who you are. You are dedicated. You have a tremendous tenacity in pushing through issues that are extremely important to you. And hopefully you'll be able to get some of those through, like Laura's Law. You're always challenging us and staff on accountability, particularly fiscal responsibility and accountability. And I think those are true values of you and things that you hold dear and never stray from. We always know that you're the one who's going to come forward and say, you need to be fiscally responsible. And many times you are right. And I agree with you on that. And finally, I want to thank you for not this year, but last year, being my ride home every Tuesday after city council meeting. When I took Uber to get to City Hall, you would always give me a ride home and drop me off on my way, as it was off Almaden Expressway, not far from how you had to get to your route home. So I truly appreciate that and that time together. I know that whatever path you have in the next life will be something political, something that will be doing good work in the community and representing constituencies. I wish you well. I wish you tremendous success. And it's been a real pleasure having you as my neighbor on city council and my drive buddy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And I appreciate that we're going to be cooking together on Thursday.
All right. Councilor Davis.
Pam was lucky because she got to ride with Johnny every week for a year. For those of you who don't know, Johnny drives one of my favorite cars. And I was lucky enough to get a ride a couple of times as well. Sometimes with the top down. Great. Johnny, much like Pam, you were the first council member to endorse me when I first ran. It was when you were running for re-election, and you still walked precincts for me and knocked on doors for me, even though you were also on the ballot in a completely different part of the city. And I'm so grateful for all that you did for me when I was first running, when I was running for re-election. You are a tireless campaigner for sure. And it's inspiring, and it's helpful when some of us are getting tired to re-energize us. It's just been a joy to work with you on council. And I know you'll say, I say what you're thinking. Well, you often say what I'm thinking. And maybe that's a time saver, so we don't both have to say it, but I've really appreciated having a kindred spirit on council and learning just kind of the ins and outs of how you ran your office. And you even let me, I think before I started, I sat in on one of your staff meetings, so you could kind of give me a sense of how it went. I think we were going out to lunch or something after that. And it just really, I got started out on a good foot, on the right foot because of that, because of your really mentoring me. And I just really, really appreciate that, and have loved getting to know your family and just spending time with you. So I wish you all the best. And you're much like Lon, you don't get to get rid of me just because you're not going to be on council anymore.
All right, Vice Mayor.
So, Johnny, I just want to tell you that I'm actually a very fortunate person to have you in my life. I think you were the first council member that endorsed me as well as you're going out and knocking on doors. I mean, you were like a machine. I mean, you did so well that I had to up my game just to keep up with you. And then from the time we served together on the council, just our talks, you stopping by my office and we're having all these conversations about the council and issues in life. I mean, it's just something that I'll really treasure. I think about our walks, particularly our walks up on the roof of City Hall. When you talk me into going up there, it's like, let's go up there and get some exercise. I'm like, I don't know about this, but you got me up there and we had some good walks, good conversations. I was anxious to get back inside the building, but I did enjoy our time that we had together up there. One of the things that I will never understand about our time on the council is why people got us confused. I can't tell you how many times people would come up to me and say, Council Member Camus, I don't even look anything like you. I'm better looking than you. I just don't understand how that got that confusion. And another thing that really sticks out to me too is that I probably have seen your tax bill more than my own tax bill. and I'm gonna miss your advocacy, your passion around your convictions and positions. And when we agreed, I respected it, and when we disagreed, I respected that as well, because you were always true to yourself. You didn't want to compromise your principles, and I really respect that. And Johnny, from the bottom of my heart, it is such a privilege and an honor to serve with you as well. Thank you.
All right. That's right. All right, Councilmember Menace.
I originally thought I was going to be the only one that could say that I've ridden in Johnny's car, but evidently everyone else has taken a ride. But he's given me a ride home as well. And he showed me the nice little logo that shoots down from the doors and all that cool stuff. So I very much appreciate that. The other thing is he did a lot of walking during my campaign, but it wasn't for me. No. It was in my district though. It was in my, but listen, I think most folks know that Council District 2 and 10 are really tied at the hip. And so I know there's been a lot of opportunities to discuss a lot of different issues that, whether it be Johnny, our march down some of the border of District 2 and 10, talking to some of the businesses about some of the blight and some of the issues going on there. Very much appreciated your collaboration there. I know we've had lunch on occasion talking about some of the challenges that the city's going through and our approaches to how we dealt with things. The other thing that sticks out for me is, soon after I got on council, I, as most of us know, it takes a little while to get adjusted. And so I remember having a conversation with you that really has stuck with me to the present day. And it was during some comments that you were making, I think, and I maybe said something that maybe was a little a personal dig at you. And so I don't know if you remember having that conversation in the garage, but I remember that you essentially saying, look, I'm not interested in making this personal. And so I share that because that is what has allowed me to sort of temper my approach to some of these things, right? And learning how to separate the policy and what's important to me, what's important to you, without attacking other folks. And so I very much appreciated that. That stuck with me from the very beginning. And I'm not sure that would have been the case if it wasn't for that conversation. And the other thing that comes to mind when I think of you, Johnny, is certainly your passion, as has been mentioned already. Oftentimes I don't say anything. I say, you know, because we don't always agree. I don't think that's a big surprise to folks, but I do appreciate your passion, and I seek to sort of bring that same level of passion to the folks that I represent as well. And I think it's a very similar population, as you know. And so I think we represent some districts that are maybe little bit more nuanced in representing, that have a lot more sort of different challenges than maybe other districts. And so I think you understand that, and I hope you've seen that as I've tried to navigate sort of the policy decisions as it relates to South San Jose. The other thing, and I'll end with this, is just simply that I know you have a family. Obviously, you've met your wife. Not tons of interaction with your kids, but when I hear you talk about your family, it sort of brings to mind the inherent challenge and the much needed requirement to find that balance between work and family. And so you seem to have done it well. And so I aspire to do that same thing with me here with my family. And so thank you for your service. I'm sure I can't stop getting emails about how wonderful you are from the District 10 residents and the folks that live on the border. And so, you know, I look forward to all the work that lies ahead for you. So thank you.
Okay. Councilmember Perales.
Yeah, I apologize. I can't go on video, so I figured I'd be sharing some fun photos. And just, you know, I think what our community members see a lot of times are council members sort of, especially I think the items that make it exciting and then maybe get some news, are items where we are arguing one another and divided at times. And Councilmember Camus and I found ourselves over the years arguing very strongly and actually getting some pretty good shots on one another often. And I think what the community did not see, and a lot of people were always really surprised to hear me when I told them that one of the best relationships that I had on the council was with Councilmember Camus. Now we were seatmates, so we had an opportunity to kind of you know, bug one another as we would one up each other on items. But we also had an affinity, and I took great enjoyment in beating him at Words with Friends often. And he got better over the years, and actually beat me quite a bit there at the end. I still have a better average than he does at the moment, so I certainly am still excited about that. But I think that's one of the things that sort of goes unnoticed is some of the relationships that we may build off of the dais. And much like Councilmember Jimenez, I think one of the things I was able to learn in my back and forth with you, Johnny, was the ability to strongly argue one's opinion here on the dais, and then leave it at that wherever the results may have landed, and be able to still have a good relationship personally off the dais. And it has certainly been a pleasure working with you. This photo in particular, I think, is you and I joking about the mayor's opinions about travel potentially to Japan. That's our smiles there on something that was going on at the time. And you and I shared that. We've shared that over the years. I think we've both enjoyed arguing the mayor because he's good at doing that. He's the litigator, and I think the two of us have shared that. And at times we found ourselves on the same side, and so that has been exciting. And as you know, Councilmember Camus, one of my sons, actually his favorite books at the moment is Coastie and the Raindrop Adventure, which is autographed by Councilmember Camus. And I would just end it on that. You also have helped me navigate being a father and a council member with a lot of good advice. And I do appreciate that because it's certainly not an easy task. That's why I'm not on camera right now. This is pickup time for my parents. I switch back and forth from devices and whatnot. And so, but thank you, and best of luck on your next endeavors.
Thank you. Councilmember Carrasco.
Thank you. Well, there's so much to unpack here. I want to thank you, Councilmember Camus, because I don't know if you remember, it's been such a long time. It's been at least, well, for me, it's been 6 years. And you were the first person on the 18th floor that took me into his office to kind of try and guide me through some organizational skills. And as you all know, once you hit all those meetings and you start meeting with staff, one meeting starts blurring very quickly into the next meeting, and one subject and one memo starts looking like the next. And so you pulled out a stack of notepads and started showing me your organizational systems, which I tried following to no avail. It didn't work out for me, but thank you so much for trying with me. And you were always very, very kind and very generous with your time and really trying to guide me, especially during that first year. What I also want to say is that I want to echo something that Councilmember Perales just said. I don't think that a lot of folks understand that the spirited dialogue and debate that goes on at any meeting or committee doesn't necessarily translate to what's happening once we're off the mic and once we're having other conversations behind closed doors or out in the community. And I've always enjoyed the conversations that you and I have had an opportunity to engage in, especially when we took our trip out to China on that wonderful inauguration trip. And so when I've been asked, who would I travel with? Who would I travel the world with? I've always said Johnny Camus, of course, because Johnny Camus is the most free-spirited and most relaxed and chill person to travel with. And so, you know, I wish you well. I know that you'll do wonderful things and hope to be able to one day travel back to China with you. It was just a wonderful experience, of course, and hope to be able to pick out some great suits for you yet again. But also the other thing I also want to mention is, you know, on this last cycle, this last election cycle, it also was really, it was also very insightful seeing you in the district and really watching you engage with my residents in District 5. And I'll say it wasn't a surprise, because one thing also that I've observed over the years, you have a very natural gift, and that's the gift of this love for life. I would say this just this I guess it's an appreciation for life and for people. And so it comes very natural and it's very joyful. And I say that sincerely. I watched it. It's very it's not common to see, especially now. And I think a lot of us enjoy being around it. So I want to thank you for that, and really appreciate the time that we've spent together.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember, yep.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I already shared my comments about Councilmember Camus, but that was my goodbye. If we're honoring Councilmember Camus now, I just want to say that you know, a lot of the times you took these positions that put you in the minority, and sometimes I was there with you out on a limb, but you represent a constituency in our city, and so thank you for your leadership and you know, standing true to what you believe in. You know, oftentimes in a narrative or you know, we're in California, and what are you saying? What is this position you're taking? But California is not as monolithic as some would have it. Some would, you know, have us believe, and truly you gave voice to a constituency of people in our state, in our city, and I think that's courage, because you took some hits for that on the council and in the press, and I think it was just courageous, and I learned, you know, a lot from you. As everyone has already said, you know, you're always ushering us into your office or sharing advice, you know, sharing things that you learn and imparting your wisdom. And I'm grateful for that. So I'm thankful to know you, Johnny, and I wish you best luck in your next endeavors.
Councilmember Esparza?
Thank you. So I just like to add my voice to one of the people that Councilmember Camus would just take under his wing. You know, we'd be up here at a random time and be like, hey, have you seen this? Have you gone over here? Let's go right now. And then we just go off. and so I just wanted to just thank you for looking out for everyone else. Councilmember Perales has remarked a few times tonight about how people don't get to see us breaking bread. They don't get to see us joking in the back. We have some, genuine differences of opinion, but we get to break bread and we get to hang out with each other, and people don't get to see that side of it. And Councilmember Camus is always the first to offer advice or talk about cooking for his family, or, I think one of the things most people don't know about him is if we had a salsa dancing contest, he'd probably win hands down. Right? And so people don't get to see that part of it. and yeah, I really treasure that time, and thank you for all of that, your generosity, and wish you well. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Forgive me, Dave, I didn't call on you the last round. And so, Dave, I want to make sure you're able to get a word in here.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, just to both council members, thank you. It's been an honor working for you both. The council may not know this, but we actually have a tradition where we invite the outgoing council members to a senior staff meeting. It's kind of funny that we wait to the very end to do this, but so we had Councilmember Camus come to our senior staff meeting last week. We had a really nice conversation discussion with him. I don't want to spoil a surprise for Councilmember Dieppe because he's coming tomorrow. So you can kind of wait to see what happens there. Both has been great. I enjoyed. I have gotten to ride in Councilmember Camus's car. And we're both Trekkies, and so share that. And then I'll just say this, Councilmember Dieppe, that picture you showed of me, you kind of tricked me into that picture because you said something about you wouldn't mind if we take a picture together. And I said, well, of course, no problem. And then you commenced to kind of putting that outfit on right there in front of me. And then we took the picture. But it's been a pleasure working with you both. And I'm sure we'll have more contact after this. And just on behalf of the entire organization, it's been an honor. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Dave. So Councilor Camus, I know you have no audiovisual extravaganza to offer like our colleague did, but would you like to offer a few words in your defense?
Yes, Mayor. Quite frankly, I'm moved so much by what my colleagues and yourself and Dave has said. I'm not always so emotional as some of you know, but gosh, it's been a great experience. I have to say that I prepared some ending remarks here. I just feel that they're not, they may not even be as worthy as I want them to be, but they're going to be brief. And I'm going to start by using Shakespeare. Parting is such sweet sorrow. And I've, really mixed feelings about ending my service here to the city and to the community in District 10. And I'm really, the sorrow comes in a place where I feel like I have more to provide, and my job isn't done yet. I feel like I haven't finished everything that I wanted to impart on all of you, and accomplish more things. I think we could do more, but it is going to be sweet not having 14-hour-long council meetings. So, I have to tell you that many of you know I was an immigrant. Many of you know I didn't speak well English, until I was, I came here when I was 8 years old. I had to learn a new language, and I had to work hard. And I worked in many, many jobs, from, washing dishes at a deli to Safeway to many, Great America, Marriott's Great America. And I became a financial advisor and all kinds of other things. I could tell you that this job has been the most challenging of all my life. on any given Tuesday, a council member has to be ready to discuss and knowledgeably so things like wildlife biology, wastewater treatment, electricity markets, airport landing patterns, garbage recycling rates, and all kinds of various topics that you have to be really versed and make decisions on every week. So it's been a huge challenge just to get to know the topics that we have to vote on every week. And while it's been that big challenge, as I said, I've had lots of other jobs. I used to be a financial advisor. I used to come into work at 9 in.the.morning and leave at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And now, we all work 60, 70 hours a week, and I could tell you that despite all that, and despite making less money than I did when I left the career as a financial advisor, this has been the most rewarding experience of my life. And because I'm so proud to have worked with all of you, and I think that we've actually accomplished a lot together. I know a lot of times we get a tunnel vision and we look at the bad things, and I hope that that's not what you all take out of the experience working as a city council member, because I take a lot out of it. We've worked together on big things like funding the Wi-Fi to bridge the digital divide, to ensure children in San Jose have the opportunity for remote learning. We've worked on combating graffiti, illegal dumping, sideshows, bringing attention to the plight of the mentally ill, the drug addicted. We've provided homes for the unsheltered. We're preserving parkland. We've envisioning trails and bike lanes and of course my pet peeve, getting streets paved. And even best, and I'm sure that Sergio will appreciate this, we've worked on wild pigs together. So, I always try to focus on the good side of it, with the positive things that we've done together. And I'm especially proud of my own district staff, and actually the city staff as well. We've worked every day to serve the needs of our community. We, from potholes to building permits to public safety issues, we worked on providing, to provide San Jose residents with professional and prompt customer care. I've been around for 8 years, and I have a newsletter coming out with all of my staff that have served the city and my residents, and I'm so proud of every one of them. We made our best efforts for our residents to keep them informed with a newsletter that came out twice a month. And we've presented our community with one of the nicest fireworks shows in the city. Thanks to all of you again, allowing us to have this and the funding to have this. And I know that many of us don't see eye to eye. Some of you thought I've actually disagreed with almost all of you. In fact, maybe all of you at one point or another on one topic or another. But I continue to believe that all viewpoints must be heard, and each of us speaks to our constituents, and their voices have to be heard. I truly respect all of you and the work that you do for your constituents, and I imagine that you feel the same way. And while we may disagree sometimes, or even if our discussions get heated, I hope that we don't become disagreeable with one another and take things in a personal manner. We may question each other's positions, and I encourage people to question positions, but I hope you don't question people's motives. I know that all of you are there to serve the community. I know that all of you are devoted to making San Jose better. And I know that all of you are trying to do what's right for our city, our residents at all times. And as someone who actually occasionally has an opinion that differs from the majority, I can tell you it's not a really comfortable position to be in. No. But it's important that our differing opinions are heard, and I hope, who knows, you might learn something when we allow people to share their knowledge. As I conclude my term on the City Council, I ask all of you to do your part to tolerate and respect the opinions that differ from your own, Keep your ears open, your minds open, and your hearts open. And as we continue to serve our city, I think we can do that with honor and integrity, even if we differ in opinions. And may God bless all of you. May God bless our city. And thank you for allowing me to share these last 8 years with all of you, to work in conjunction with you to help solve some of our city's problems. I'm sorry I don't have a slideshow. But that's just me. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you for everything you've done for our city. I truly respect every single one of you and everything that you've all been doing for our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Campos. And thank you. Yes, well said. And thank you for your passion for public service, and I think your joy is infectious quite often. I very much appreciated working with you for 8 years. It's been a lot of fun. All right. So sadly, we have to get back to work. So I want to say thank you both Johnny and Lon. And I know we'll continue our friendships well after this. We have a few hours left here of the day, and hopefully not too many hours of work. So why don't we jump right in to item 8.3. This involves the sale of 2 properties. And I don't believe that there is a presentation on this item.
Motion to approve.
All right, there's a motion.
Second.
I'm looking for any members of the public who would like to speak on this item, which is 8.3, relating to the sales of 2 properties and lifting of affordability restrictions. Nobody's raising their hand, so let's vote on this item.
Jimenez,
Yes.
Peralez. Peralez. Yep.
Aye.
Roscoe,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Esparza,
Yes.
Foley,
Aye.
Camus,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Ricardo.
Aye.
Going back to Peralez. Marking. Oh, aye, got it. Thank you.
In transit, we got him. Okay. 8.4 is the award of contracts for the employment development and housing stability and rapid rehousing programs. There's a presentation. Welcome.
Hi, good evening, Mayor Reagan Henninger with the Housing Department. I'm here with Kelly Hemphill, who's our Homeless Response Program Manager. And we will be going over a contract award for 2 programs, our Rapid Rehousing Program and our Employment Development Program. I'm going to hand it over to Kelly Hemphill for the presentation.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. My name is Kelly Hemphill. I'm the Homelessness Response Manager with the Housing Department. Thank you. The Housing Department has been funding rapid rehousing programs since 2009 and workforce development programs since 2016. Both programs were due to go out to bid this year. In October, we released a request for proposals with the intent to coordinate the 2 programs and redesign the system of care to maximize participant success. Next slide, please. Rapid rehousing is a nationally recognized best practice to end homelessness. Following a housing first approach, rapid rehousing provides assistance with housing placement, time-limited rental subsidies, and supportive services, often with a focus on increasing income through work. Rapid rehousing participants can typically resolve their crisis with short-term assistance. Those who score in the rapid rehousing range, as determined by the VI SPDAT assessment tool, make up the majority of the profiles in Santa Clara County's Homeless Management Information System, or HMIS. Data both nationally and locally shows that any homeless subpopulation can be successful in rapid rehousing. Next slide. Employment or workforce development is also a HUD national objective. The job creation and retention activities are designed to creatively and strategically generate permanent jobs. This could include rehabilitation to correct code violations to enable a business to survive and hire our participants, or it could be developing a paid training program in the medical field, for example, with job placement at the end. These are just a couple of many, many examples. Key is providing the support and stability for participants to retain sustainable careers. Next slide. Both rapid rehousing and employment development are priorities in our local plans, most importantly, the countywide community plan to end homelessness, as well as the housing department's consolidated plan to HUD. Both plans are 5-year plans and both were implemented this year. Next slide. So as previously mentioned, the recent RFP sought to redesign the system of care in regards to target population and points of program entry specifically. This year, we're targeting single adults, young adult groups, and survivors of domestic violence. HMIS can tell us service gaps compared to service need. Most people who enter HMIS for the first time fall into the rapid rehousing score range. The subpopulation with the largest gap between inflow into the system and rapid rehousing program capacity is single adults. As you can see on this chart, the subpopulations with the most capacity in rapid rehousing, but not as high of an inflow, are with families and veterans. This analysis led us to prioritize single adults, as well as youth and survivors of domestic violence for rapid rehousing. For the employment development program, we're leveraging rapid rehousing slots to couple jobs with housing. In years past, both programs worked in silos without direct collaboration or coordination. Next slide. The RFP resulted in 10 applications and 5 awards. Combined, the rapid rehousing providers, Bill Wilson Center, Home First, and Life Moves, have proposed to serve over 300 participants at any given time. Many of the participants will be enrolled in the employment development programs. The 2 selected employment development awardees, Job Train and International Rescue Committee, are actually new grantees to the city. Next slide. The other key component of our system redesign was with the referral structure. Since we're targeting individuals, this will create an opportunity to use our interim housing programs, namely the bridge housing communities and the plaza, as points of entry into rapid rehousing and employment development programs. We recognize that the interim housing programs also needed a referral restructure. We will use the county's coordinated entry system to receive referrals directly into rapid rehousing, but also target those who may be likely to be referred into rapid rehousing in order to fill the interim sites and then assess for enrollment in rapid rehousing. The goal is for the interim sites to be filled with potential participants. In fact, we envision at least 50% of rapid rehousing participants will come from the bridge housing communities. Next slide, please. Once enrolled in rapid rehousing, participants will be assessed for the employment development programs. All 5 selected agencies will work together to attain and maintain affordable housing options that are most appropriate for our participants. And of course, work together to increase their income so they can sustain those units. Next slide. The keys to the system of care redesign are coordination and leveraging resources. Maximizing the use of the interim housing programs as an alternate point of entry will keep our programs at capacity, get people directly off the street quickly, and serve several people who may otherwise fall through the cracks. Assisting participants with a holistic approach to housing and employment support will provide better tools for long-term stability. And now I'd like to open it up to questions.
Thank you, Kelly, and thanks for your work. It's a critical initiative. Let's go to the public, and we'll take public comment now on this item, which is 8.4. These are contracts for employment development, housing stability, and rapid rehousing. I believe the first person is Karen and John. I'm sorry, you're not able to be heard right now. Your device is muted. I'm sorry, your device is muted, Karen and John. We're not able to hear you right now. Feel like we can try to come back to you if you want to try to figure out how to unmute your device, and we'll call on a couple other folks and we'll come right back to you. Pilar, welcome.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City Council members. My name is Pilar Furlong, and I'm the Chief Community Resources Officer with Bill Wilson Center. I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you to the city. We were very excited when we saw in the redesign of the RFP that transition age youth were called out as a target population. Bill Wilson Center has spent many years working with young adults to try to get them housed and give them the skills they need to be self-sufficient. So we're really excited that we were selected as a grant recipient here, and hope that that will move forward. And even more excited that this is now being tied to an employment development program. Because as we've been working with some current rapid rehousing programs with youth, we really do find that the more help we can give them to overcoming employment barriers, the more successful they can be in trying to maintain their housing. And another reason I was really excited to see that Tay were called out is if we can get these kids and these young people housed now, we're actually preventing chronic homelessness from starting with them. So we were, again, very happy to continue a partnership with the city of San Jose in working to house these vulnerable young people. So thank you.
Thank you. Blair Beekman.
Hi, Blair Beekman. Happy evening to you. For this item, I just spoke at the Fremont City Council public meeting. They have some interesting HUD additions to their City Council agenda tonight, as well as you did this afternoon. I've mentioned to yourselves the importance of simply learning to place council agenda items like the middle affordable housing plans with ideas like this. And just that being items next to each other on a council agenda, I think can do a lot for, I think, what we should be working towards in the future of San Jose and housing issues. So thank you for this issue. It was nice for this item. It was nice to learn about, and I don't know quite what else to say. I guess to conclude, you know, it's important to always think of affordable housing when we think of, you know, middle income and high income, that always to consider what can be low income housing and how it can actually meld and mix together and not always be so rigidly separated. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Let's come back to Councilmember Davis.
I just want to say thank you to Kelly and Reagan and the housing staff for all that you do and for bringing this to us. I get a question a lot about when we talk about our housing first policy, what does that mean and how are we helping people to stand on their own 2 feet? And this is exactly the kind of program where we marry housing first with self-sufficiency and really looking toward preventing homelessness from reoccurring. And I just really appreciate it. So thank you for bringing this to us, and I will move approval of the award of the contracts.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion and second. Other comments or questions? Well, I just want to echo what Councilmember Davis said. Thank you, Reagan. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for the work your teams do. This is some of the most important and most difficult work in the city. Okay, any other comments? Let's vote.
Jimenez,
Yes.
Morales,
Aye.
Yep,
Aye.
Roscoe,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Garza,
Yes.
Foley,
Aye.
Camus,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Ricardo.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, housing won't be going far because I think it's time for a capper. That's item 8.5. There is a presentation. Reagan, are you on this one? Great.
Good evening, council members. Reagan Henninger with the Housing Department. I'm here with Jackie Morales Ferrand, I believe, but I'll be doing tonight's presentation. So the CAPER is a year-end report that's required by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. It's a backward-looking document that reports only on the city's federal funds, CDBG, Home, HOPWA, ESG. Last fiscal year, we had 4 priorities: increase and preserve affordable housing, respond to homelessness, strengthen neighborhoods, promote fair housing. And then along came global pandemic in 2020. So that immediately became a priority. And I'm going to briefly go over some of the highlights from each of these priorities. I'll start with our COVID response. There's been a tremendous influx of one-time funding from the Federal CARES Act. As you can see here, our normal allocation from HUD is around $14 million a year. With CARES funding, we received substantially more. And it's important to note this does not include any state grants or the general coronavirus relief funds that the city received. All told, the department received about $100 million more in new funds in fiscal year 1920, which was desperately needed to respond to the COVID pandemic. But it did create a tremendous workload for the small team of grants professionals that develop and monitor our city's federal grant contracts. This tiny team has been working 80+ hours a week since March, and I'm so grateful for their efforts, and particularly Shirley Victorio and April Ensign, who lead this small, tiny team. Since March, we've funded a variety of community needs and programs, as you can see here. Some additional programs that are not on the screen include temporary shelters at South Hall, Parkside, Camden Community Center, and Bascom Community Center, the isolation and quarantine program, the food delivery program that so quickly ramped up by our city's EOC, and grants to support small businesses. Because we started our COVID response in quarters 3 and 4 of the year, we'll have more detailed reporting on our COVID-related grants in next year's CAPER. That brings us to our 4 original priorities, and the first is increase and preserve affordable housing. Our home-funded rental assistance program assisted 337 households, and we also had 2 affordable housing developments also funded with our home dollars, finished construction, and that's 2nd Street Studios and Villas on the Park. Our second priority, respond to homelessness. Last year, we funded homeless street outreach teams with Home First and Path, and also our overnight warming locations at city facilities. We also funded what's called the Coordinated Care Program, which is a housing and case management program for chronically homeless individuals. And last year, that program permanently housed 166 individuals. We also funded a homeless prevention program with Bill Wilson Center. And I just want to note that that funding is from our federal funds, and this 47 families assisted is not part of our overall homeless prevention system that's through Destination Home and is funded with state funds. Our third priority, strengthen neighborhoods. In this category, we funded Somos Mayfair and Com University for leadership development and safety net services. This slide also has 2 COVID-related response programs. We funded Loaves and Fishes for meals, and we worked with the Opportunity Fund to set up micro enterprise grants for small businesses. And finally, not mentioned on this slide, we funded POSO and the Health Trust for senior meal programs, transportation services, and social wellness and support visits. Also related to strengthening neighborhoods is the city's investments in capital projects and improvements. Last year, we funded pedestrian improvements such as flashing beacons and installing ADA ramps. And we funded one COVID-related expense in this category, and that was community wireless network infrastructure. Also in the strengthening neighborhoods category, we have contracts with Habitat for Humanity and Rebuilding Together, which combined assisted 217 low-income households with over 2,000 items of urgent safety and accessibility and mobility repairs. And the city also funded targeted code enforcement in Santee, 5 Wounds Brookwood Terrace, Roundtable, Hoffman Viamonte, Foxdale, and Cadillac neighborhoods, which resulted in 735 code violations corrected. And the final priority is promoting fair housing. The city funded 2 programs in this category. First, a nonprofit consortium comprised of 4 organizations: Law Foundation, Project Sentinel, Senior Adult Legal Assistance, and Asian Law Alliance. This consortium offered comprehensive fair housing program that included discrimination complaint investigations, enforcement and litigation services, and general fair housing education. And second, the city also funded a consortium for low-income tenants and landlords to assist in enforcing the apartment rent ordinance and tenant protection ordinance. This legal consortium was comprised of Law Foundation, Bay Area Legal Aid, Project Sentinel, Senior Adult Legal Services, and Asian Law Alliance. And you can see here the results of both of those efforts. And as I mentioned in the earlier slide, the city's COVID response has required a massive effort in these extraordinary times. And we are very much still in an active COVID-19 response. And for that reason, we're recommending that we continue with the current federal grantees in fiscal year 21-22, because the grants team does not have the staff capacity to issue additional RFPs. So those contracts that are impacted are listed on page 19 of the staff report. And then finally, we will be submitting this caper to HUD in just a few short weeks on the 27th. And we will be back in the spring with our 21-22 annual action plan. So thank you very much for your time, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Reagan. All right, let's go to the public. A lot of work being done, obviously. last year. And I think Reagan said it well, a lot of folks working 80-hour weeks, and we're grateful for their work for those who need that help the most. Blair Beekman.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for your continued patience with myself and public comment. I'm the last place guy, but just thank you for hearing me out. And I've been trying all fall to practice ideas of COVID safety and little informational bits. And you know, I've been trying to do okay, and sometimes I'm not so great. But to pass along once again, just for information and knowledge and understanding, and how to guide what your own thinking can be about things. You know, it's my understanding that, you know, the way COVID is progressing, and the school, it may be difficult for the school systems to open in January. And, you know, there may be, like, I am thinking a bit more that maybe May or a May school schedule may be starting up. And if not May, then the fall of 2021. And those kind of ideas, I hope you guys can talk about that more often, and it can be kind of on our minds more. And that's my feeling on that issue. The vaccination process is starting up. And I had one more item about COVID. You know, into summer, I guess Kip Harkness actually offered that into the summer of next year may be a good beginning time for ourselves, and that was a hopeful thing. He said. What else is there to say? I had one more item to say about COVID situation in our lives that I hope we're learning about. The pod system. I remember now. The pod system is important, where we group in small groups together, and just the idea to check in with each other and say, you know, how you're doing, how are your symptoms, do you have any, you know, to set that kind of standard with ourselves. I hope we can learn that kind of dialogue and language.
Thank you. All right, coming back to the council. Oh, I'm sorry. I think there's someone else who just raised their hand. Scott Largent.
Great. Good evening, everyone. Scott Largent. I tried to utilize the tenant protection ordinance. So it looks like you guys are funding that through federal grants. It seemed like a really impressive setup and an ordinance you guys have worked really hard on putting in place to protect people that had gone through things similar to my situation. I was staying at a building on the Alameda, 2170 the Alameda, in an unlicensed apartment. They never pulled the proper permits. Long story short, I went into City Hall. I asked for help. I said, what am I going to do? I've got a landlord that's, you know, trying to say it's a broom closet, it's storage, it's not an apartment, it's not this. And, you know, I had all the pictures, the videos, I had just, you know, everything that I would need. Now, part of getting out of this location and into another location was the help to do that. And I would have expected the city to have kind of stepped in there. Now, they went after the landlord and the owner of the building, and I believe they fined her and they did all this other stuff, but they were never allowed to tell me. Then they told me I had to do a records request. And then they told me I was just high and dry, that I just had to go fend for myself in a situation like this. This is a wealthy property owner that's taking advantage of people. And I would just hope you guys would look a little more into things like that. This program did not work. And some of these other ones that you're getting grant funding for are not working either. So thank you.
Thank you. Coming back to council now. Perhaps we can get back to Mr. Largent's comment in just a moment, but I do want to acknowledge just the enormous amount of work that's being done. Yes, there was additional money this year, no question, but what's important is what was done with that money to help people. And I know there were many partners involved in this, particularly the county and the Housing Authority and many nonprofits, but I just wanted to read a little bit of the data. I think this is probably 2 or 3 weeks old, so it's not quite current, but since the pandemic started, 1,472 of our unhoused neighbors have been moved into permanent supportive housing. 4,000 97 into either motels, it's about 1,000 folks, or a little more than 3,000 into shelters. Many of those are ones that we created literally within hours as we opened up community centers and convention center hall and so forth. That's the kind of work I think that Reagan was referring to with the 80-hour weeks. I know there are many partners here, and there's certainly Life Moves and many great nonprofits. And of course, I mentioned the county and housing authority, but we know that most of these folks that were moved inside were of course San Jose residents. And so I'm very grateful for that. And it does show that money makes a difference when we invest resources. We actually can see the impact on human beings, and that's terribly important. The question that Mr. Largent raised, it sounded as though he was looking for some intervention with regard to helping him relocate after there had been some action taken against his landlord. Now, Reagan, I don't expect you to know anything about the specific case because I know you guys are dealing with a lot of cases with a lot of folks. But is there an option for folks who are just dealing with the reality of a slumlord who's getting enforced against, and now as a result of that reasonable enforcement, they're now out on the street? Can they get in the queue to get help?
So let me just start with just the practical nature of it, and then Reagan might add some additional comments. So I think, in this particular case that was described, it sounds like if it was one of our rent stabilized apartments, that goes through a very different process. When an apartment is red tagged or has a code enforcement issue, there are very specific requirements with tenants, and that's run through PBCE and the code enforcement items. But we do have some tenant protections, and so I think what we just need to do is, I know Rachel was listening to the call tonight, and so what we'll just do is follow up with her team to better understand the circumstances so that we better know how the system functions or doesn't function, given his experience.
Thanks, Jackie.
But then if he ends up being pushed out, then how does he get connected to a broader system? And then I'll turn that over to Reagan. If he finds himself on the streets, what happens next?
Sure. I think, for anyone that finds themselves unhoused, certainly since March, we have began a coordinated shelter referral hotline. So any individual can call that number and get a referral to shelter. Is probably step one, and then there you can access other referrals or even our vulnerability assessment to get into the queue for other housing programs.
And I believe for well over the majority since March, we have always had space available in one of our shelters. It's been rare that we've been completely full. Is that accurate, Reagan?
Well, since the cold weather and wet weather began in recent week or two, we've been seeing a lot of full shelters and limited space available.
Okay, so that's our look ahead. Thank you. Councilmember Esparza.
Thank you. I said this in NSE. I think this is a huge amount of work, and we've talked about our own capacity issues. And I think the fact that so many of our own people have mobilized to focus on this need and do all of this is incredible. I think it's one of the stories that's going to come out of this. And throughout the pandemic, I've talked about, as the number gets higher and higher, that we have permanently housed people since March 1st. And I think it's amazing, and it speaks to the dedication of our own staff and all of our partners that have been working nonstop. I mean, 7 days a week, really trying to save lives. And so I just wanted to say thank you for that. And the other thing that I wanted to bring up was the capacity of our partners that we rely on. This presentation covers a lot of different buckets of work that we do as a city. And so often, whether it's Home First or whether it's PATH or Somos Mayfair, we often turn to the same folks over and over again. And so often they're pretty small. I mean, even the big ones are small for what we're asking them to do. How are we looking at extending our contracts? Because we're extending contracts, we're not doing new RFPs. How are we looking at extending contracts to try and figure out some of the capacity issues that our partners are facing?
So I think, as we begin those contract negotiations for next fiscal year, that's one of the things we'll be looking at and working with our grantees is what their capacity is. It's been honestly an ongoing conversation with many of our partners during the pandemic, with Home First, YWCA, Next Door Solutions, so many organizations that have stepped up during the pandemic to provide emergency shelter, motel programs, rental assistance programs, working with them on their capacity and ensuring that they have the capacity to implement these programs, and also paying for the staff that's required to implement these programs.
And I think, oh, go ahead, Jackie.
I was going to say, so I think, one of the things, the experiences we learned through the Destination Home work was that when they started looking for more neighborhood-based programs, they ended up finding many small nonprofits that many people didn't realize were actually working in neighborhoods and then became part of this expanded network. I think part of the challenge on some of the programs we fund, they're so specific. So agencies that are working with women with domestic violence or men with domestic violence or youth programs. And so I think, it does give us an opportunity during this pandemic to maybe reach down farther. And we have tried to do that, go outside of our traditional groups to get more people and more nonprofits engaged. And I think we're just going to have to continue to do that, especially if the pandemic continues. Or if something else happens, we're just going to have to push through.
Knock on wood. Yeah, no locusts, no earthquakes, no nothing. Yeah. No, and I think too, one of the things that we learned from the example that you just raised, where we have, what is it now, 70 nonprofits in that network, in the rental assistance example, is they're large and small, but there's still some big players that are needed. Giving away money with oversight and making sure that the money goes to what it's supposed to go to is very hard. It's a lot harder, I think, than most people understand, and to make sure that you're actually helping that person and get what they need. And so I guess we also still need, the smaller ones need capacity, but the bigger ones need capacity too. And the bigger ones are able to be more of a backbone to this network. But one of the things we've seen in this pandemic is we've seen them get stretched beyond recognition. And it says a lot to them that they're just working themselves to death to continue to make a difference, because they know what this work means to so many people. And that's one of the things I'm worried about, because we're still in response, and the worst, is coming, and we know that. And then we're going to shift to recovery, which is going to be, it's going to be difficult, and it's going to be long, particularly for our most vulnerable people. And so how do we, I guess I'm just raising the issue of how we can ensure that we build that capacity because it's a marathon, not a sprint. So I just wanted to flag that because I think it's huge. And I know we're facing some of the same issues. And so I wanted to flag that. The other thing that I wanted to flag was the fair housing work. So as we expand or extend, not expand, but extend that work, are we able to, I guess, are we able to tie that with some of the recovery work? I guess on that piece, I'm asking some questions that we don't quite know the answers to. I just want to make sure that we're asking those questions. So when the next round of assistance comes, we're able to kind of see if we can connect those two things on fair housing. In my district, I've had folks have all sorts of crazy stuff go on during the pandemic, which wasn't legal. The landlords, especially the corporate landlords, knew it wasn't legal, but they were doing it anyway, right? And so this work is really important as we recover from the pandemic. And then lastly, I wanted to raise the capacity issue, particularly with the smaller nonprofits. I wanted to just bring up the fact that we're going to move into vaccine distribution, and we're going to move into economic recovery. And a lot of these small neighborhood-based nonprofits are going to be really critical to that success. So I just, again, wanted to raise that flag so that as we extend current contracts, as we go into the next phase of what will hopefully be a very generous stimulus bill, right? If I say it, maybe it'll happen. That we're able to really address these relationships and capacity, because we're going to be depending on them a lot in the coming months. So that's sort of all I wanted to say on that. And with that, we have to accept the report. Is that correct?
I believe
so
that.
I'll move to accept the report.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Councilmember Camus?
Yes, I know that we had, what, 20, did you say 20 separate nonprofits, right, working on housing issues. And I can tell you that our office has had issues navigating through the myriad of networks that we have here. We've been working on a case for 2 or 3 months now of a elderly woman who was sharing an apartment with somebody else, and that somebody else moved away, and now she's about to become homeless. I mean, she's been shuffled around, and it seems like most of the offers here are COVID related, and she can't necessarily say that this is a COVID related reason why she's about to lose her apartment. I don't know what can be done. She's a sweet old lady, we sent her to Jackie and then Fred Tran and then Catholic Charities, and then they gave her to somebody else. It seems like we're going in circles. My only suggestion is we have to have some way of having people go to one place and then get guided to the right exact place to go. I just fear that people are going to have too hard of a time navigating through these 20 nonprofits, and each one has their own criteria to dole out whatever monies that they're given to dole out. And if I can't send her to your staff and then have her get the right help, I don't know where I could send her. Any advice?
Well, I know that I saw that she did get redirected back to our office, and so we'll just have to follow up to see again where she got stuck and where it got circular. I mean, it is challenging. I think in this case just illustrates the depth and breadth of how people are struggling in the city. And you're absolutely right. The majority is focused on this COVID-19 response for obvious reasons, but we still have everyday people who are facing housing challenges that people faced in the city before COVID-19. And so the staff is sending me some information. She actually has one more year. She's not getting evicted right now. She's in a house that is getting Ellised out, so she's not facing immediate homelessness. So that's the good news, council member. But we'll follow up with you. But I think it does illustrate that the housing challenges, you know, that people faced just because of their everyday circumstances, absent COVID-19, are still in our community. And COVID has just added an additional number of people who are being threatened with their housing.
No, I appreciate that, and I know that you guys are doing your best. I would just try to see what we could do to refine the system so that you know, somebody doesn't get lost in the system. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't want people to get discouraged and then give up. That's all.
That's a fair point.
I think that's a good point, Councilmember Camus. And before COVID, we had one homeless prevention system that is easy to navigate and had multiple places where you could enter and receive help. The additional federal stimulus money, the federal government has not made it easy to spend their money. So for example, spending home funds on rental assistance has sets of requirements that are different than the rental assistance from our general coronavirus relief funds, that are different from our HEAP and HAP rental assistance funds. And so it created a bit of a tangled web. And we also had some grantees, Catholic Charities and Sacred Heart, that are running some slightly different programs. And so it became a little bit complicated during COVID, but your point is certainly well taken.
Thank you, Reagan.
Okay, any other questions, comments? All right, let's vote on the motion from Councilmember Esparza.
Jimenez,
Yes.
Morales,
Aye.
Diep,
Aye.
Roscoe, Davis,
Aye.
Esparza,
Yes.
Foley,
Aye.
Camus,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Ricardo.
Aye.
Let me go back to Crosco.
Aye.
Thank you.
10.1 is land use consent calendar.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Let's see if there's anyone on the public who would like to speak on consent. These are the two items, land use, one's a pre-zoning for Fleming Avenue, and a second is a city initiated general plan amendment, revising our general plan. Okay, let's vote on the consent.
Jimenez,
Yes.
Morales,
Aye.
Diep,
Aye.
Crosco,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Esparza,
Yes.
Foley,
Aye.
Camus,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Ricardo.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, item 10.2 is an appeal of the planning director's approval of a historic preservation permit for the St. James Park Capital Vision and Levitt Pavilion project. Welcome, Rosalind.
Thank you, Mayor. Rosalind Huey, Director for Planning, Building, and Code Enforcement. And this evening, I am joined by planning staff as well as staff of the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Neighborhood Services. So this item is an appeal of the Planning Director's decision on the historic preservation permit. In the heart of our downtown, the St. James Park is a contributing property to the locally designated St. James Square City Landmark Historic District. The St. James Park Capital Vision and Performing Arts Pavilion project includes a design for the renovation and revitalization of the park that includes 3 concepts. First, the historic edge that would maintain the established heritage trees and include a planting scheme to recall the history of the park's development. This edge would act as a buffer, shielding the new park core from surrounding streets. Secondly, the contemporary core would include passive and active uses, including a playground, picnic grove, cafe, 2 dog parks, and a performing arts pavilion. And the third concept is a monument walk park paseo that would organize the layout of the park and provide access throughout the park. The project and the Historic Preservation Permit have been reviewed several times by the Historic Landmarks Commission since 2016. The commission provided feedback on the environmental scope, commented on the project, and provided a recommendation on the Historic Preservation Permit. The Historic Preservation Permit was heard at the Planning Director's hearing on October 21st. The hearing was continued so that the City Council could certify the final environmental impact report for the project. The Council approved the project and certified the EIR on October 27th. And on October 28th, the Historic Preservation Permit was approved at Planning Director's hearing. The St. Clair Club filed an appeal of the Historic Preservation Permit on November 6th. The appeal asserts that the project could damage the existing historic elements and that the project does not meet the Historic Preservation Ordinance, as it would be detrimental to a structure or feature of the park. In terms of the analysis, the project requires a historic preservation permit pursuant to the municipal code because the St. James Square Historic District is a city landmark district and not because it is listed in the National Register. The historic analysis determined the historic integrity of St. James Park would not be substantially degraded. The analysis also found the project to be substantially consistent with the Secretary of Interior standards, as well as the St. James Square Historic District guidelines. And the analysis found that the project would not be detrimental to the St. James Square Historic District as a city landmark historic district, and that it's consistent with the spirit and purposes of the Historic Preservation Ordinance. Staff reiterates that the findings for the Historic Preservation Permit can be made. And these findings include that the project preserves the park's location within the St. James Historic District. The project is compatible with the Secretary of Interior standards for her rehabilitation since the park continues to preserve open space and public use and is the focal point of the historic district. The project preserves significant character-defining features of St. James Park, as well as the monuments and the historic focal point of the St. James Square Historic District. The project's design respects the historic design intent. The project differentiates its design from the original St. James Park design and represents modern materials and designs. And lastly, that the project preserves the essential form and integrity of the park's history. Therefore, staff recommends that the City Council adopt a resolution denying the permit appeal and approve the Historic Preservation Permit for the St. James Park Capital Vision and Levitt Pavilion project. And that concludes staff presentation. Mayor, I know that the appellant, Susan Brandt Hawley, is on the call for a presentation and comments.
Thank you. Ms. Brandt Hawley, you have 5 minutes. Welcome.
Shall I do the video or just the audio? What do I do here?
Whatever you prefer.
I might as well say, I don't know if that'll work. I don't think the video's letting me do it. Okay, good evening. Yes, I'm Susan Brandt Hawley, and I'm representing the St. Clair Club and the St. Clair Historic Preservation Foundation. There are a lot of problems, and we've explained most of those in letters to you. And I've also, well, the club has spoken to the council before. And as you know, not long ago, you reviewed and approved the project itself. And as part of that, we did talk about the historic preservation permit. Many of the things discussed in the staff's analysis are not borne out by the record, respectfully. If you look at, let me just grab it here. On page 9 of the memorandum, there's a recitation by staff. The project does not comply with most of the applicable secretary standards. So the analysis that you're being asked to rely on isn't consistent with the facts in your record. It complies with standards 1, 4, and 10, according to your historic evaluation, but it's only partially consistent with 2, 3, 5, 6, and 9. There are 10 standards, so it complies with 3 of them. The city has adopted the St. James Historic District guidelines, and of course, this project is all about that historic district. It only complies, as conceded in page 10 of the memorandum, with one of the guidelines, only one, the landscape guideline. The staff report states that it's only partially consistent and therefore partially inconsistent with all of the remaining applicable guidelines. And those include general character guideline, fenestration guideline, materials guideline, detailing guideline, and color guideline. Staff didn't look at the city's downtown historic design guidelines because they've not been formally adopted by this council, and one may certainly infer that they would not be consistent. Importantly, just a minute here, this council made findings as part of the project approval that this project would have significant impacts on the historic integrity of the park and the district. For the integrity and the historic significance, there are already findings that this council has made, and what's being asked of you tonight is to make completely inconsistent findings about the same project. And it's not a matter of, as was explained in the memorandum, that those were just CEQA findings. They were findings as to the significance being impaired, the historic significance and the integrity. So that's inconsistent. And another important fact to mention is that the Historic Landmarks Commission, in fact, made a very specific recommendation to approve this historic preservation permit, but only if the project was not phased. There's a concern that the pavilion, which is the only real problem with this project from my client's point of view, this 4,000 square foot stage and up to 500 events, musical performance events a year, causing noise and various amendments to the historic fabric, that would be built, and the other benefits of the project, which there are many in terms of the revitalization of the park, aside from the performing arts pavilion, that those would not occur. And so there was very strong argument, and it's in the minutes, but it's not before you in the staff report. I'm not sure why. The Landmarks Commission said that the funding and the construction should happen at once. It should not be phased. The EIR did not look at a phased project. What is before you as a condition is that it would be consecutively phased. Obviously, something that's consecutive implies more than one thing. And a consecutively built project means it is done in phases. So for those reasons and all of the other reasons that we put in our letter, the city's own ordinance has requirements that are not met by the project, and as confirmed by this council's own findings just a few weeks ago. So we ask that you deny the permit and that you revise the project. It can comply with the historic preservation permit if it meets secretary standards and local guidelines. Thank you.
Thank you. Staff, Rosalind or anyone on the team, would you like to respond, or should we go to public comment?
Mayor, if I could perhaps briefly respond to just a few of the points that the appellant raised. Just a few items that I do want to clarify. First, regarding the Secretary of Interior standards for rehabilitation, these are a broad set of standards that interact and actually overlap with other preservation standards. And when you look at them, all of which can be widely interpreted and applied. And the current project scope can be considered consistent with many of the standards which staff has fully outlined in the council memorandum. And then the second item that I would like to speak to is regarding the CEQA findings versus the historic preservation permit findings. And I just want to emphasize that these are distinct and separate processes with distinct thresholds and standards. So when we focus on the language that's included in the municipal code, the historic preservation ordinance is section 13.48, it is possible to come to the conclusion that there is no detriment since the resource will maintain its local landmark district status. And then lastly, I would just share that the implementation of the project will not affect the status of the district or the protections afforded it in the municipal code. So I just wanted to highlight those two quick things.
Thank you, Rosamond. All right, let's go to the public and then we'll come back to you, Councilmember Pross. Is that right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Karen or John Lubin, welcome.
Oh, there we go.
There you go, John.
Thank you very much for your time. I would like to have council members, what is a park for? Why do we normally do urban parks? And we knew urban parks were set up originally to help people escape the hustle and bustle of the surrounding city. The EIR points this out and had no remediation for it. And the Planning and Parks Commission overrode the EIR's comments addressing noise, crowds, and everything else. They completely overrode that part of the EIR. And what is an urban park for? It's a place to escape the hustle and bustle of the surrounding area. If we allow the pavilion portion, I agree with everybody else. The rest of the help would do well. But if we put the pavilion in, we're bringing hustle and bustle to the park. And then there was a news article about the farmers market being moved to the park. That would be fine because that's during the day, 1 day a week. And that would be a use of the park, escaping from the hustle and bustle of the city. And that's what a park's for. It's not to be a business, and attracting thousands of people to a small park. That's only 7 acres. The next size park in an urban area is over 14 acres, and that's the MacArthur Park in LA. And everybody talks about there are warnings against tourists going to that park, by the way, near the pavilion. I mean, a park's to be enjoyed, not to be a business center. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, John. Good to hear from you. Coming back to council, Councilmember Pross.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. And I respectfully disagree with the members of our community, and I appreciate staff's thorough report on this. Certainly, there's a number of different considerations, and I will be approving the staff and the commission's recommendation. So I'll make that motion.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Awesome. Okay, thank you, Vice Mayor. Nora, can I ask a question with regard to time? Ms. Brandt Hawley has her hand raised. Is there a required rebuttal? Is that part of the forum?
I believe that you are set up with 5 minutes for the applicant.
the presentation. If you want to allow a rebuttal, that's
Okay.
fine, but I think your process is set up with a
All right.
presentation and response.
Ms. Brand-Holly, if you're very brief, we'll take a brief rebuttal.
Oh, well, thank you, Mayor. I actually put my hand up at the beginning because I thought I was supposed to, but I didn't mean to raise it again, but I will just say a few things since I have the floor. In terms of the compliance with standards and the local guidelines, those are in the memorandum. So I would just refer the council to the statements that are in there that the secretary's standards are not met and the guidelines are not met. And all your historic preservation permit requirement is that there be no detriment to the district or any feature in it. And the findings that this council made, there weren't specific to CEQA. There isn't a term of art in CEQA. All that CEQA requires is that there be a finding as to whether an impact on a resource is significant. This council made findings that there are significant impacts based largely on this performing arts pavilion. So you have made findings. They're not different or special in any kind of term of art or interpretation. And I'd leave it at that and ask that you consider revising your project so that you can meet the terms of your ordinance to protect your resource here. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, any other questions or comments from the council? There's a motion from Councilmember Peralez. Let's vote.
Jimenez,
Yes.
Peralez,
Aye.
Yep,
Aye.
Roscoe,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Garza,
Yes.
Foley,
Aye.
Demis,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Ricardo.
Aye. All right, so for our final act of the year, we have a privately initiated general plan text amendment to modify the Five Wounds Urban Village Plan. This is item 10.3. Welcome, Rosa.
Thank you, Mayor. A moment. And Mayor, I do want to acknowledge that I am joined by members of the citywide planning team, headed up by Michael Brio, Deputy Director. So this request is a general plan text amendment to the Five Wounds Urban Village Plan to modify interim uses to allow transit supportive development to move ahead of the full funding of the 28th Street Little Portugal BART station, and to revise the urban village land use designation by increasing residential density from 95 to 250 dwelling units per acre, and reducing the minimum commercial office density requirement or floor area ratio from 0.75 to 0.0 for projects that are less than 1.5 acres or are located west of the Five Wounds Trail. This map shows the boundary of the urban village plan, which establishes the framework for the transition of the area surrounding the future BART station into a vibrant, mixed-use and pedestrian-oriented district. The urban village includes 74 acres, and the plan was initially adopted by council in 2013 with minor amendments in 2018. So this slide shows a side-by-side comparison of the land use diagrams included in the existing urban village plan. The figure on the left depicts interim land uses, and the figure on the right depicts future land uses after full funding of the BART station. The proposed amendment revises interim land use policies 1, 2, and 4 to allow mixed-use projects to move forward ahead of full funding of the BART station if projects are 75 dwelling units to the acre or greater.
And Rosa, I'm sorry to interrupt, Mayor, and I did get word from the applicant that they are now in support of the staff recommendation. So I don't know if it might save you some some time and breath, but I don't believe they'll even be presenting anything different.
Right, thanks, Councilmember.
Thank you so much, Councilmember. Appreciate that. So yes, I can definitely modify the presentation. This slide just shows the existing text with the addition of the proposed text. Again, this is the land use policy for item number 2. And this slide shows the text for the signature project. Here, this slide just shows the land use designation change for up to 250 dwelling units per acre, along with this commercial density exception was the applicant is no longer proposing now. So the general plan text amendment was heard at the Planning Commission at its December 2nd meeting. The commission agreed with the staff recommendation and you made a unanimous vote to approve staff recommendation. And so just want to make sure want to clarify that it excludes changing the minimal commercial FAR requirement. That concludes the presentation.
Great, thank you. Councilmember Perales?
Yeah, I'll just, there was an extensive amount of work that went in the last couple of days. So I think we now have an applicant that is understanding of the staff position. And so I'll move approval of staff recommendation. Thanks.
Thank you.
Second.
Roland would like to speak on this item. Again, this is item 10.3, the general plan text amendment to modify the Five Wounds Urban Village Plan. We'll take public comment for Roland.
Thank you, Mayor. The thing I want to speak to is the very wise decision to go ahead with, Five Wounds development without waiting for the VTA, FFGA. I want to give you the latest updates with the situation. We have now found a third set of books over there, which is not the 900 or $1.2 billion over budget. The other set of books we found has to do with debt servicing, which is in the region of $400 million, is another $115 to $150 million worth of fund swaps. The bottom line is that the entire Measure A funding, which they were planning at $2 billion, it's gone. That Measure A is gone on top of whatever might be happening with Measure B. The only thing I want to bring into your attention, I don't know whether you've seen this in the press, either in the Mercury News, I saw it in the trade press. The operating subsidy right now is running at over $300 per passengers. So there's massive headwinds. I think our best approach right now at the regional level is to push ahead with just extending BART in a second phase to 28th Street, nothing else, while we figure out the financing, the project delivery, and the design for the rest of the line, be it between 28th Street and the region of 28th in Santa Clara. So that's my 2 cents. You're going to be getting more correspondence from you overnight, and you will definitely have a final briefing at Administration and Finance on the Thursday, I believe it's at noon at the VTA. Thank you.
Thank you. Blair Beekman?
Hi, this is the feature of homes around BART stations and the Five Wounds area, which it's a real low income area, and this is a big urban village project, and so I got a bit worried. And it was my understanding that at this time, maybe about a year, maybe it's 2 years ago, that San Jose simply had some really nice ideas of mixed income housing ideas. I think partially based on what there's a big housing project in Santa Clara, city of Santa Clara, that that had the big garden project, and just a lot of back and forth with San Jose, and they just came up with a really nice mixed income idea. And it's been kind of an example that just, I like to say, it's just in San Jose's back pocket. You know, it's just, it's a good thing. And you don't ever grow that idea. And this area, the Five Wounds area, is a perfect example that I think you talked about mixed income ideas to use again for the Five Wounds area. And, you know, I hope this urban village is not crowding out, you know, what was a good community there. And, you know, I hope the mixed income ideas, it seems a perfect place to consider it. And I just wanted to remind yourselves of that at this time. And so thank you.
Thank you. Returning to council. Any other questions? All right, let's.
Last chance, Johnny.
Okay. All right, then let's vote on Councilmember Peralez's motion.
Yeah, that was definitely the last opportunity you had to argue me, Johnny.
Now, 2 minutes.
Yes.
Peralez,
Aye.
Yep,
Aye.
Roscoe,
Aye. Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Esparza,
Yes.
Foley,
Aye.
Miss,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Ricardo.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone. We'll now go to public comment. Robert Aguirre.
There we go. All right, Rob DeGarry here. Yeah, I want to talk about the number of deaths in the unhoused community for the last year, and this last year we experienced a huge increase of numbers. It was 337 in the county. Now, I haven't broken this down by how many were in the city of San Jose. I still want to do that, but that's still a huge number of people that are dying out in the street. Well, we need to really, really look at this much more seriously because we're actually double of what we had last year. And if things are getting bad like they are, and just currently there's only 5 people that have died from COVID. So there's a lot of people in here that died for various other reasons. I haven't done the whole analysis yet, but we're facing a severe problem in the unhoused community, and I keep pushing that we need to have representation, and I just can't seem to get that idea to go through some kind of commission or something that we can have an opportunity for people to be properly represented. Other than just coming and speaking like I do for 2 minutes at a time. We need to have an opportunity to review things that are directly affecting the people that are living out in the streets and what services are being provided for them. I think, Mayor, I think you'll remember one time I asked you about whether you would like me to pick out your clothes for you every day. And I think you understand that people need to have a say into what is being done for them as well. We're not children. We need to be treated like adults, and we need to be properly represented. So think about that.
Thank you, Robert. Blair Beekman.
All right, thank you. Happy end of the year to everyone. This was an unprecedented year for the mail-in ballot. It seems what is becoming clear is that the mail-in ballot this election year is being handled in the parameters of what was to be expected of this country's better voting practices, I feel. At this point, instead of states trying to take to court the Biden campaign and the Democratic Party about the overall vote tally process, I hope states will instead want to start to look at themselves internally and want to take the time to consider how to negotiate their own voting issues in the future of their own local cities and counties. As I feel we are actually at a beginning time of better agreed voting rights ideas that could work towards some important concepts of unity and long-term sustainability for the future of this country. I am learning this simple concept to learn how to ask how local governments always need to prepare for natural disasters and catastrophes. I hope this scary, difficult subject can become easier to talk about, and from this, more open to plan with in San Jose and the SF Bay area in the next 5 to 10 years. And to conclude, my open forum of 2020, the views of Michelle Fournier on China may have been frightening in what can simply be a future of apologies, forgiveness, and the good asks of peace and better reasoning and genuine sustainability. It is also interesting as a new secret US international war was beginning by 1947, procedures were created that a civilian is needed before military in the job of defense secretary. We are at a time to better leave the era of 9/11. I hope we can take these 1947 protocols seriously in what we can rebuild at this time as local communities and as a country. Thanks a lot, everyone. Happy 2020, and let's have a good 2021.
Thank you. Scott Largent.
Thank you, everybody. Scott Largent. The housing department, for one of the agenda items, was discussing how they're, in regards to the shelter beds that are available right now. It seems like they were a little confused. If we want to get the correct numbers, it was discussed at the Board of Supervisor meetings today. No shelters in San Jose are taking anybody in because we're having COVID outbreaks in a lot of them. So there is no place for anybody to go. I put a video up online, and it's Do Black Homeless Lives Matter in San Jose? And it's a video of an African-American man, an elderly man, that died across the street from St. James Park several days ago. Now, that man tried to get into shelters and was denied. He tried to get medical attention and was denied. Now, if that man wanted to get into a shelter in Santa Clara County, he was going to have to get on the 68 bus. Okay? The bus only takes about 6 people on the bus because of COVID right now. So you sit at the bus stop and you wait, and it passes you, and it passes you again, and it gets colder and colder. It's a hard thing to go through. And for this man to have to go all the way out to Gilroy to stay the night, to be warm, and then go back to San Jose, which is his home. He died on the side of a building right there across from Trinity Church. That man's stuff was thrown into a dumpster bin, and they just kept shoveling and shoveling. And halfway through, the San Jose police officer said, "Hey, why don't you keep an eye out for his ID or some type of identification to figure out who he is?" You're more than welcome to watch that video. I don't think any of you will, but I think you really should. It's very sad that this man, it broke my heart. I'll just tell you that. So thank you.
Thank you. Community member with the phone number 4048.
Hello, my name is Stacy Laris. I've been listening to this meeting all day. I have emailed you guys all 29 times and have only received maybe 2 or 3 responses since May. I'm calling in regarding your non-response to me and to COVID-19. I'm also in partnership with the Freedom Angels, and we've sent you a lot of very informative documents. I would really appreciate somebody getting back to me and setting up a meeting. We, the people, demand that you have public town hall meetings. We need solutions. Zoom meetings are unacceptable. This illness has not been isolated or identified. This illness has a 99.8% survival rate. You are all complicit in committing crimes against humanity by being silent and doing nothing. You are all approving our county spending millions on testing and tracing while thousands of citizens are suffering. The PCR test was not made for finding infectious diseases. If the threshold cycle is above 35, they are inaccurate results. 97% false positives. We are using those test results to shut down our county. That's not acceptable. All local health orders are null and void on their face. They need to be removed, revoked, and rescinded. They are outside of the law. Fire Dr. Sarah Cody. End this unlawful lockdown now. We are losing many small businesses, and I guarantee that many more will be closed permanently January 1st if you don't take action now. You all seem to be heartless and soulless. You should all donate your paychecks to the thousands of citizens who are suffering. You have all handled this year so poorly, it's pathetic. You clearly do not care about the people of this county. You only care about FEMA, CARES Act money, your budget, and your status. You do not uphold your oaths of office. In fact, do any of you have the second part of your oath signed? Probably not. You are all probably de facto impersonating.
Thank you. The person with the phone number ending 9924.
Hello, my name is Nick Kawada, and I am the Program Manager 2 of the Santa Clara County Office of the Census, a department within the Division of Equity and Social Justice. The County of Santa Clara wishes to formally acknowledge the hard work and partnership of the City of San Jose for their extensive work in helping all our communities get counted in the 2020 census. Together, we were able to increase the city's self-response rate in 2010 of 34.6% to an astonishing 77.1%, the highest rate of any U.S. city with a population of 300,000 people or more, despite challenges like wildfires, anti-immigrant rhetoric, including the failed threat of an additional citizenship question, and an unprecedented health crisis. I would like to personally thank Vilce Rodriguez, who headed the San Jose Census Program, Win Pham, and Jeff Ruster. I would also like to acknowledge Zuma Maciel, who served with Jeff on our countywide steering committee, Sabrina Parra Garcia, Eric Rodriguez, and all the city staff who came out to help us connect and canvass the community in the final days of the census. Lastly, the county would like to thank the contributions of council members Esparza and Carrasco for helping bring staff and support to our canvassing effort in the hardest to count districts of the city. Unlike any other city within the county, San Jose's investment in staff devoted to the census to help convene and run several of our SC5 committees and actively collaborate with the county effort as far back as 2018 with Luca, helped us ensure a decade's worth of much needed federal funding and representation within a very divided federal government for our local communities. That said, the fight continues. Recently, County Council drafted an amicus to the Supreme Court arguing the inclusion of all people, not just those with documentation in the count for the purposes of redistricting. We know that we'll have other fights to fight, and we're really looking at the Census 2020 effort and the partnerships we've made to continue that fight in the future. Thank you again.
Thank you. Roland, you have the final word.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that. What I want to do very briefly is follow on the conversation we had with MTC with the old bar cars that Millbrae don't want because they think the yard is being to look like a graveyard, and point out to you that these cars, as they are right now, if you give them appropriate power, already have heating and air conditioning. In other words, they could be using for not necessarily housing, but some kind of sheltering instead of people dying on the side of the road. Now, where we will put those, I'm going to give you the same proposal I made to you last summer, is that we have got 34 acres in the immediate area of the Santa Teresa light rail station on Via del Oro. And the VG are just basically stacking out a bunch of old junk over there, and I'm sure that nobody would mind if this junk was replaced with bar rate cars. The other thing I want to bring your attention is a letter I wrote you this afternoon that you may have received by now, that has to do with the VTA's CARES Act funding surplus, which in the worst case scenario is going to be $55 million come June. And my suggestion there, which goes to the point the gentleman made about this other gentleman who died by the side of the road, basically on 68 route, is that we extend half of the new 64 Caltrain trains to Gilroy and provide an hourly service in each direction. We can do this. We can work with Union Pacific. And for the people who really want to go between San Jose and Gilroy, this is the best and the safe way for them to do it. And by the way, for people like me, it makes it possible for me to do something that is currently impossible, is to get on Caltrain in the afternoon and go to either down to downtown Morgan Hill or Gilroy, and then come back in the evening without having to spend the night down there. Thank you, and happy and safe New Year to you and yours.
Thank you, Roland. All right. Happy holidays, everybody. The meeting's adjourned. Lon and Johnny, take care.